So this is episode 2 to my BPD Kickstart series, okay? I'm just sharing with you all the steps that I've taken to get where I'm at with my BPD, with my borderline personality disorder. I am at a really good place with my BPD, okay? And I just want to share with you all, like, what exactly did I do to get where I'm at with my BPD, okay? So this is episode 2. If you have not watched episode 1 yet, please do, and then come back to this video. So let's get into it, you guys. So the very next thing that I did was I had to stop telling myself that I am not my mental illness. I did. I had to stop telling myself that I am not my mental illness. And the reason why I had to stop telling myself this, you guys, now it sounds good, right? It sounds good. Like, wait a minute, Chrissy, what is wrong with telling yourself that you are not your mental illness? Okay. And I understand. I get it. I went with that for so many years. I went with it and I ran with it for so many years. But let me tell you why I had to stop telling myself that I had to start telling myself that I am my mental illness. Because for the fact that I ran with this for so many years, I'm talking more than 10 years, it actually hindered my mental health healing journey. It did. It slowed it down, it hindered it, and it made me believe that nothing was wrong with me. And because of that, I'm like, what's the point of working on myself? What is the point of working on myself? Because for so many years, I've been telling myself that I'm not my mental illness. And after you tell yourself something for so many years, it's very hard to break that, to convince yourself that you are your mental illnesses. Okay, so I have more than one, so mental illnesses. It was hard for me to convince myself, like, no, Chrissy, you are. It wasn't until last year of 2025, the end of 2025, is when I realized, like, no, I am my mental illness, okay? I got this from a therapist years ago, more than 10 years ago, sat down with a therapist, and I ran with it when I was in my session, and I heard that phrase, like, you are not your mental illness. And like I said, it's understandable why it sounds so good, because we want to tell ourselves, we want to tell ourselves, like, no, I am just as typical as everyone else, and I am fine. But I'm sorry. At the same time, it's like brushing your mental illness under the rug. It's almost like you're pretending to be okay. You're pretending to be fine. And when you do something like that, how can you point pick, what to work on with yourself? How can you heal if you've been telling yourself that you're not your mental illness? I am Chrissy with BPD, MDD with psychosis, and GAD. And guess what, you guys? That is okay. And let me give you some examples how I am my mental illness. Because when I go out there in the real world, if you have BPD, it's typically, not all of us, but people with BPD, typically it is triggered when we are having a negative interaction with others. When I'm in a negative situation with someone, with others, I handle a situation so different from the average typical person. I do. So for me to say that I'm not my mental illness, I don't know. I don't think I can actually go with that phrase, because I am. I don't operate, you guys. I do not operate out there in the real world as a typical person, because there's something going on up here. And let me tell you something, it is okay. It is okay to tell yourself that you are your mental illness. Just think of it as your guidance. You're just taking baby steps to your mental illness. And if you're finally serious with your mental health journey, I'm sorry, you have to start telling yourself that you are your mental illness. And I know I didn't want to word things like you have to, you this. I remember mentioning in episode 1 that I don't want to say you must do this. I'm trying to remind myself to say that this is what I had to do. But yeah, I had to tell myself, if you want to heal, you got to tell yourself that you are your mental illness. You are Chrissy with borderline personality disorder. You are Chrissy with major depressive disorder. with psychosis. You are Chrissy with generalized anxiety disorder. And guess what, you guys? That is okay. That is okay. Now, if you're watching this video and you have a mental illness, I don't care what it is, not even just BPD. You're watching this video and you're saying, sorry, Chrissy, I disagree. I'm not my mental illness. I can operate out there just as typical as everyone else. I can do the things that everybody can do in the situation. I can handle it quite well. I'm not my mental illness. I don't know what you're talking about. Fine. Okay, fine. I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do. This is the steps that I've taken. And like I said, for many years, I've been telling myself that I'm not my mental illness. But guess what? At the end of the day, I am. I'm Chrissy with BPD and those other mental illnesses that I mentioned. And it's okay. Once I convinced myself that I am my mental illness or illnesses, the healing journey has gotten easier. It was very easy for me to pick the things I had to work on. Because like I said, telling myself that I'm not my mental illness is like brushing it under the rug, like pretending that everything's fine, pretending as if everything's okay, putting it on hold. It was putting my mental health journey on hold, telling myself that. It was doing more harm than good, you guys. It was doing more harm than good. Okay, so that is episode 2. After I did forgiveness, that's episode 1. After I forgave myself for whatever I did to, having this BPD, all my splits, I forgave myself. And then I had to come to the realization that no, I am my mental illness and work on it. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? And that's when I started to come up with, how to manage my BPD. I made several videos of always talking about learn how you manage, learn how you operate. That's how that came. Learning how I operate and learning how to manage my BPD stems from me telling myself that I am my mental illness. Okay, that is it. That is episode 2. Okay, so yep. So that is it, you guys. Thank you so much if you watched to the end. Let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know if you still disagree. Like, I'm sorry, Chrissy, I disagree. And that's fine if you disagree. Like I said, I don't know if this series is going to help you. This is just a series telling you all the steps I've taken personally. I am so fine with you not agreeing with telling yourself that you are your mental illness, because I understand. I went with that for over 10 years. I went with the whole, I'm not my mental illness. So I understand. Okay. But let me know in the comment section, and if you agree, no, Chrissy, you agree. I want to start telling myself that I am my mental illness and that it's okay. So I can start working on myself. I want to hear from you. Let's start a discussion in the comment section. So yes, give me all I'm asking for is a like, and then yeah, so I will see you in episode 3. I'm not sure how many episodes this series is going to be. I'm just going with, the steps that I've taken. So we'll see how many episodes, but thank you so much for watching. Just give me a like, and then, I will definitely see you all in, episode 3. Bye-bye.